It's going to be a big call because he's a big player and he's played 49 times for England so far. He started every single game at the Euros back in 2024. To then miss out completely on the squad just seems unheard of. 23-24 Football Writers Association Player of the Year, 19 goals in the Premier League for Manchester City. Had such a great season, but the last 2 seasons, there's no doubt there's been a drop-off. And since those Euros, he's only started 2 competitive games for England. In November, he was called up by Thomas Tuchel for the first time for him, missed out in June, September and October squads. He provided an assist in a game against Serbia. That was his first goal involvement in 18 games before that. Only 4 goals for England. I know I'm reeling off all these stats, but this is Phil Foden. Again, 19 goals in 1 season in the Premier League, yet only 4 goals in 49 games for England. A lack of goal involvement. 2 of those goals were in the Nations League. 1 was in a friendly. It's not great. It's difficult to just look at these friendlies as isolation against Uruguay and Japan. It's a tricky international break and it's a tricky window for Thomas Tuchel and for players to impress too. But Phil Foden, not just this year, last year as well, his form's just really drifted off. And game time under Pep Guardiola is going to be interesting between now and the close of the season. That may determine whether Phil Foden makes that squad or not. A lot rests on his shoulders. Yeah. He may feel he doesn't have anything to prove. But I think Thomas Tuchel wants him to prove to him that he's good enough to make the squad and good enough to have an impact for England.
I think he's left out some of the most talented English players. And I think this is probably the most shocking England tournament squad since, when was it? 98.
I don't know about that.
Before your time. Since 98, when Glenn Hoddle left out Paul Gascoigne. I mean, you can make a very, very good case for saying not only should some of the players who've been left out be in England squad, they should be in the starting 11. I mean, he's left out players like Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Adam Wharton, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Trent Alexander-Arnold. These are some of the most talented English players.
Starting though?
Yeah, but because they don't fit into Tuchel's plans. He doesn't want to take, he sees Foden and Palmer as number 10s and he thinks he's got better options, and Morgan Gibbs-White. But Foden can play out wide. Cole Palmer can play out wide. They can play in different positions.
But he's always said,
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He's always said, I don't see Phil Foden playing wide anymore. He wants him as a number 10. So the fact that he's got Eze there, he's got Bellingham there, he's got Morgan Rogers there, who I think you would agree is in better form than Phil Foden, you can understand why he's left Phil Foden out.
I can't understand it. I can understand why he's done it, because he's doing it. This is his squad. Yeah. This is all about the way he wants England to play, the options he wants to have off the bench. He's got it set in his mind. It's his way or the highway. And if you don't fit into that, you're not going to get in the squad.
I don't think we did enough to affect the game, but also I think the players, it's very easy to just blame the manager, but I think sometimes the players have to take responsibility as well.
Was it the worst thing about it in that when Argentina scored the equaliser, everybody kind of could see that coming? So does the responsibility go on the players on the pitch at that time? Is it the manager's responsibility to fix it?
Well, Mark, I've been in situations before when you're winning, or you feel momentum in any sport, tennis, golf, football, is everything. And when you feel momentum is going against you, you have to do something to Argentina, no matter what the score is. Like when they scored against France, they just took the sting out of the game. And it's a great example for what we have to find and we have to do. Players that want to receive the ball under pressure, but don't even look like they're under any kinds of duress. Unfortunately, we're the complete opposite. When we found ourselves with a bit of intensity and players starting to press us, we couldn't handle that. Whereas the Spanish are just magicians are getting out of tight areas. So hopefully going forward, we have going to have players, you look at Max Dowmans and Reggie Walshes in a few years' time that hopefully be playing in the World Cup with good midfield players that can receive the ball in tight areas. That's what we're going to be looking for.
Jimmy, always a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you for your time.
Phil Foden has committed his future to Manchester City, and for supporters, this feels like much more than an ordinary contract extension. The 26-year-old has signed a new 4-year deal that keeps him at the Etihad until 2030, with the possibility of another season. His previous agreement was due to expire next summer, so City have moved early to protect one of the most important academy graduates in the club's history. The timing matters. Manchester City are beginning a new chapter under Enzo Maresca, following Pep Guardiola's departure after 10 extraordinary years. Several major figures from the Guardiola era have moved on, but Foden has chosen to stay and become part of the rebuild. For City fans, that decision carries emotional weight. Foden joined the club as a boy, progressed through the academy, and was handed his senior debut by Guardiola at just 17. Since then, he has made hundreds of appearances and collected an extraordinary number of trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and the Champions League. He is not simply another member of the squad. Foden represents the pathway City want young players to believe in, a local supporter developed inside the academy, reaching the first team and becoming one of the most decorated players of his generation. But this new contract also arrives at a difficult point in his career. Foden was left out of Thomas Tuchel's England squad for the World Cup after an inconsistent campaign. He started only 23 Premier League matches, and the attacking output that once made him one of the most feared players in England has declined during the past 2 seasons. That makes this extension a powerful statement from Manchester City. The club are backing the talent and intelligence that produced a career-best season after the treble, when Foden registered 27 goals and 12 assists across all competitions. The question now is whether Maresca can unlock that version of Foden again. Maresca already knows him well. He worked as Guardiola's assistant during City's 2022-23 treble-winning campaign, and Foden has spoken warmly about their relationship. He described Maresca as a coach the players respected and enjoyed working with. Over the last 2 seasons, Foden's position and responsibilities have changed. Jeremy Doku and Antoine Semenyo have provided pace and width, while Ryan Cherki has often been used as the creative playmaker behind Erling Haaland. As a result, Foden has sometimes operated deeper, away from the areas where he can score or deliver the final pass. Maresca must now decide where Foden is most dangerous. Is he a number 10 operating between the lines? Is he more effective starting from the right and moving inside? Or can he become a deeper midfielder who controls possession and arrives late in the penalty area? That decision could define the next phase of his career. Last season, Foden recorded 7 goals and 5 assists in 33 Premier League appearances. Those numbers are respectable, but below the standards he set during his best campaign. The challenge is to restore his confidence, give him a clear role, and help him become decisive in the biggest matches again. Foden has made his own position clear. He said committing his future to City means everything because playing for the club is all he has ever wanted. He also acknowledged that he has been fortunate to experience a historic period, but insisted the team must now look forward and keep winning. That message matters to supporters worried about the end of the Guardiola era. City are changing, but they are not abandoning their identity. Keeping Foden gives Maresca a player who understands the club, the expectations and the pressure of competing for every major trophy. There is still risk. A new contract does not guarantee a return to his best form. Competition for attacking positions remains intense, but the opportunity is equally clear. At 26, Foden should be entering the strongest years of his career. If Maresca can restore his freedom, confidence and attacking influence, City may not need to search elsewhere for a new creative leader. They may already have one. So this deal is about more than keeping a valuable player until 2030. It is a show of faith from Manchester City, a fresh start for Phil Foden, and perhaps the first major sign of how Enzo Maresca intends to shape the post-Guardiola era. The contract is signed, the commitment is clear. Now comes the biggest question. Can Foden become the central figure of Manchester City's next great team?